Klay Thompson in the same tier as Jordan Poole?
I think Jordan Poole's probably a better player than he showed last year. I think that Poole is the more controversial person in that spot than Thompson at this point. I mean, ACL plus Achilles plus age. He's not the
Plus playing
defender.
with Poole.
He plus playing with Poole. It's true. He's not the defender he used to. Doesn't have the ability to find shots in quite the same way as he used to. I think that Klay has probably gotten to the point where he isn't. I don't think that on a night to night basis he has star impact anymore. I think he's still a good, useful player, but um, this is part of why we've thought that the Warriors have been on the clock the last couple of years. And even though they won the title a couple of years ago, we kind of wanted them to move some of their younger players for immediate help. I think we saw this coming with Klay, with Draymond. Steph has largely held steady, but I think that it's that impact, which was always a little weird with Thompson, in that his reputation always exceeded his metrics to a degree. I think that with the Warriors having been, I don't want to say hollowed out, but not having the all around talent that they had in the KD years, the fact that Thompson isn't able to step into that larger role, I think shows that like top end that was always sort of just behind the scenes, where he could always, we need it, and Klay just gave us a 33-point half or something like that to win a playoff game. I don't think that's there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he had a rough playoffs, but I think I still think he's working his way back. I think part of it was playing with Poole. There were a lot of times where Poole would go look for his own shots and things like that. Klay would come off screens and he'd be wide open. I actually think this is part of the reason why I think the Chris Paul in the second unit with Klay instead of Poole and Klay is going to be huge for him. I think that's going to help him get to those. Listen, 33 points and a half is kind of absurd, even when you're on a freaking roll. But I think, we might get like a 12-point quarter from Klay, in the second unit with those, with the looks I think he's going to get from a guy like Chris Paul and so on. So I disagreed with you there. I probably would have had him in somewhere in tier 4 in that regard. I rate him higher than Poole. I think Poole he's going to have a magnificent season and score a ton of points and might even be super efficient, but he ain't going to help you win games. He proved
certainly
that many
times. Not the way he played last year. I think that to some degree, I think we do have to say that there are reasons to maybe give a mulligan on him not being in the greatest headspace last season. If we're gonna be,
I wonder why. Seth.
Yeah,
I wonder why. Was it a little hazy after he got cold cocked?
But he's got to work with that person every day. I think that was not an ideal situation, and it's probably gonna be a while till Jordan Poole gets a chance to test himself in the playoffs, if we're gonna be honest. So we'll see. But I think he is a good player who had a bad year.
I'll go a step further, though, because even before the punch and stuff like that, he was not good for them in that playoff run when they went to the finals. Right. And like they couldn't play him down stretch of games. And to me, that's one of those things there where it's like you could play Klay down the stretch of games. And I think that's one of those instances there. And again, why I would have him higher and a different tier than Jordan Poole is I don't feel like Poole has fully proven that, at least to me, with all that stuff. And that's my just, and by the way, these are all quibbles. Like these are like, I don't feel like you got anything massively wrong. Oh, actually, no, there's like one I think I'm going to really at you on.
No, I think honestly, like the line between tier 5 and not in the tiers. These are guys, tier 5 are guys that give you a little bit of extra value, like maybe push you over the top, but aren't the reasons you're there. And so the line between that and sort of more of just a guy is thin. And, if we're being empirical about like where the cutoffs would be, tier 5, it could end at 110. It could go to 140. We've just, for purposes of sort of continuity at the Athletic, have done it at 125 every year. So if there's a guy or two extra who's in there, or a guy or two who should have been in there, yeah, sure. I noted the last five guys out in the article, and then someone like Kyle Kuzma or something like that. If you wanted to say that he should be in there instead of Poole, sure. I wouldn't argue a huge amount with